Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. We got a big list of 21 properties. Had a really fun buyer class. Unfortunately, we had a few people who couldn't come, but we had a really good time with the people that were there. And so we're going to start off today with 56 Fini Terrace. It's at 314.9, and so it's the smaller model. It's 1051 square feet. Basically, you've got your living plus a dining. That's an extremely small table there. It looks like a little kids table, and then you've got your kitchen there. 2 bedrooms upstairs. The second bedroom is big enough for maybe a queen size bed. Not much more than that. A lot of people use a fold-out bed plus a desk in there, and the master's a good size. Can easily fit a queen size bed, and that's your train tracks right there. So you're probably a couple hundred feet away, and so you do hear it. The berm helps. The sloping land certainly helps to dampen the noise. A lot of people say that in these townhouses the heating system is actually louder than the train. So overall 314.9. When you look at what else has been selling, a couple months ago they'd probably peak at, like, this would be a great price, but we had a couple tough sales recently. Be a little harder for these guys. They're competing against stuff that had hardwood floors, a little bit more upgrading, that sold for even less than what this is listed for. So be a bit of a tricky time, but all it takes is one sale with these models to completely turn it around. It's a very funny kind of market. 20 Mill Street is the next one. Interesting kind of home. It's $325 is the price. It's a 42 by 132 foot lot. So most of the building lots in older Milton that are being scooped up, and people are paying anywhere from maybe $325 to $375 for them. They're a 66 foot by 132, and that's just lot coverage. It means you can build a bigger home. The potential's there. So it's kind of half of a builder lot, and then you also have a house that could be used, that maybe with a bit of renos, or maybe even as is. It could be something that somebody could stay in. That might be a good alternative to a condo. Really, when you look at 325 with no condo fees, if the house is in good shape, it's probably cheaper than a lot of stuff you could buy at 100 Millside. Painting the kitchen cupboards is not a big deal, and it's a pretty decent private backyard as well. So it's kind of an interesting thing. And Mill Street has a little bit of residential. It's got a little bit of commercial, right? So depending on how close it is to Bronte's planning on widening too. So there's a lot of different factors about this home that I think make it a very interesting listing. And probably, they're probably in the right price range. Somebody's going to rebuild. There's probably a little negotiating room there. Ferguson is 344.9. It's a 3-story. It's 1450 square feet. Haven't seen a corner one sell in a little while, or list for a while. It is definitely higher than anything else that, as far as I know, has sold in this complex. And it's got the 3 bedrooms upstairs. There is about a $50 a month fee for garbage and snow removal. I mean, easy to keep clean with all the tiles on the walls there. And I do like a lot of the things that they've done in here. I think they've done a good job in decoration and everything else. Don't know if this price is going to work, though. It's really that with the $50 a month fee, that's basically pushing it at the same as a home for $350 plus. You look at something like this on Thompson, $359.9. It's a 3-bedroom. It's a little bit smaller square footage wise at 1270 square feet, but you've got a basement and you have a backyard. So that can mean the difference there. It looks like you could probably just park one car here, although it looks like a little bit longer driveway. There's only one full bathroom in this home. The kitchen, I think, looks great. Even the little archway up here makes a big difference. So eat in with the kitchen here, and then you've got in the back of the house a family room and a dining room, basically. There's one side, and they didn't show the other in the photos. Okay, so some California shutters. This model, not on Thompson, because Thompson's a busier street. You're going to get the road noise, even though you're set back in little cul-de-sacs. We've seen it sell for around $360 or more on some of the quieter streets. So $359.9 is probably not a bad price. Probably a little bit of wiggle there. Glebe Terrace is $369. It's an Emery model. So if you think about it, for $10,000 more, you can now jump to a quieter street, and you get a 3rd bathroom upstairs. And there's some hardwood floors here. Kitchen maybe isn't quite as pretty as the Thompson one, but it's still definitely solid. It's a good floor plan, and I think this one's priced really well. 2-car parking in the driveway too. You actually can't park on the street on the Thompson one because it's considered a fire route, so your guests may have to park around the corner on one of the side streets, which can be a little bit annoying. Hutchinson is next one up, 389.9. And so we've got a Longmore model, about 1,600 square feet. I've said in previous episodes, this is really one of my favorite designs. You've got a good-sized dining room, plus a family room and kitchen. There's a little breakfast bar that's cut off in this photo, and the bedrooms are all really nice sized. You could have teenagers in the bedroom. So overall, great looking house. 389 I think is a wonderful price, and they should do really well. The thing about this range is we're talking, to bring some context, I did some research on the weekend. So from 360,000 to 420,000, there's like more than 100 houses. From 400,000 to 460, there's more than 100 houses listed. There's a ton of competition right now, and that has an effect on everybody in the price range. It's supply and demand. So even if the demand has remained the same, which I kind of think it has overall since the spring, maybe a little bit down, you're fighting against more homes. And the effect of that is a buyer is going to come up and say, okay, well, if you're not going to take this offer, I'll go to the one down the street. So it makes it much tougher to sell a house. So we've got this one on Roseheath. It's considered a link home, which means it shares a foundation wall, but from the outside it basically looks like it's detached. There's some upgrades in the kitchen, and yeah, I mean, it looks okay to me. It looks like a good solid home. I mean, you compare, this home is probably 1,500-1,600 square feet with a finished basement. That would probably cost you maybe 420-425 in the new areas. And then you're looking at about a 36 by 100 foot lot, so you're getting a deeper property than some of the new stuff. So when you compare it against that, it looks pretty good. Hadley Woods is 398.9. It's an end unit townhouse, and Hadley Woods is a good street. You're nice and close to the movie theater. You're in the Hadfield School District. There's a lot of nice things I like about this location. You can walk to the GO train. The photos inside are really, really poor. So I mean, there's room for improvement in something like this. There's no doubt. The blue carpet's not a big deal. The carpet's probably $3 a square foot installed for half decent carpet, so you could rip that out no problem. A lot of people make a big deal of that, but it's really not a big deal. The rest of it, like, come on, that picture, that's just not a good photo gallery. Blurry photos, nothing in the yard. There's a virtual tour here. I haven't even checked it, but I'm sure that it's probably not unbelievable. But anyways, nice street. Caverhill is I think a great deal. I saw this pop up yesterday. They were at 435. They're down to 425, 424.9. If they went to 425, which really would make a difference to their whole selling process, they would straddle two different price range. We call that bridging the price gap on our team, and it's a strategic decision. Same with 449.9 versus 450. 450, you're the top one in one list up to 450, and you're the bottom one from 450 to 500. So 424.9 eliminates the double category thing. Anyways, not going to have a huge effect, but it can matter for exposure. This one here is a 4-bedroom, 1,800 square foot home. It's a little plain inside, but it's not very bad. I don't think it's bad at all. And there's side-by-side parking in the driveway. A lot of good stuff. This one will probably sell really quick at this price. I think it's listed below where we've seen a lot of these models sell for. Costigan, 1375 Costigan. There's a condo building at 1379 that's basically right behind this home. So your backyard is going to look onto a 6-story building. And they've strategically not shown you that. That looks like a little patch of grass underneath here. It's 1,900 square feet, but for me, the location combined with this price makes it kind of a wash off the list. I wouldn't pursue this one much further if I was a buyer. Asselton, Colin Best and I had a funny little discussion about how to pronounce this street. Hopefully I did it right. 429 is the price. And a lot of Milton streets have history. If you look at, even if there's a poppy on the street sign, it means that that person was, that individual who the street is named after was actually in the war. And so there's very fascinating histories behind a lot of Milton streets, and it's great to be educated on that. I find the kitchen's a little bit small on this one, and it just doesn't look homey. It's just and I mean, come on, those lights have been used for 40 years. Like, the builder can't upgrade that, spend an extra $10. You just look and you get so tired of this basic building box that you see happen so much. And I think a lot of the times when I look at some of the stuff that Madame does, it's not super special, but there's little differences that I think for some reason have a massive effect on. And they've changed too. Madame's changed. They used to have the wide lot homes, and now they're a lot more traditional in a lot of their floor plans. But anyways, 429 for me. I'm not a big fan. McDougall Crossing is 429. These ones were selling last year at 429. It's actually not a bad price for this. It's 1987 square feet. It's called a Southbury model. You've got a front living room, plus a separate dining, plus kitchen and family in the back. And then upstairs you've got 4 bedrooms. And then on top of that, you sometimes have a little loft plus laundry, or you've got a big loft and the laundry's down in the basement. Kind of strange to see that potentially the backyard may not be fully fenced, but it's a lot of square footage for that price. It's not a bad price range. Diamond is 484.9, and it's 1835 square feet. That's the front little office area, and they've carpeted that. You pass through the hall here, and you've got a dining room, family room, and kitchen with an eat-in. You've got a pantry off the kitchen. I tend to like the version of this without the pantry, but with a bigger kitchen island. I find it's a little bit more open. The pantry to me really squeezes things. And hey, it's good looking. 484.9. This model's listed at like 460 right now, and it's not that bad. So I think there's going to be a price objection just based on competition. Historically, have they sold for around that? Yeah, but they're not going to get that price right now. Cobbin is 489.9. It's somewhere less than 2,000 square feet. Defined front entrance. You go up the stairs. You've got a living dining here, and you get into the kitchen. A little bit of a center island. You've got a corner where you can put some plants and stuff. Overall, not bad. It's getting close to probably 10 years old. You go up the stairs. So you've got living dining kitchen on main floor. Upstairs, you've got this big loft, and you've got a walk out to the balcony, and then you also have 3 bedrooms up on the basically the second floor. It's sort of that family room is like a half floor. It's halfway up the stairs, and you've got a finished basement which adds a couple hundred square feet. So you're talking probably 2,300 square feet of finished living area. 489 with a double garage in a decent area with a decent school district, walking distance to the Center for the Arts, community center, superstore, Starbucks, GO Train, movie theater, all those things we talked about on Hadley Woods. Nice stuff. Trudeau, 524.9. Should they have done? Actually, above 500,000, it goes in 50,000 increments. So for them to do 525,000 actually wouldn't make any difference at all. So between 500 and a million, it's 50,000 increments. Under 500, it's 25,000 increments. Anyways, about 2,300 square feet. It feels a little bit older inside. Heavy window coverings, a little bit old-fashioned on the lights. A little bit more basic in the kitchen, but we've seen a more basic version of this house with green countertops on a bit of a quieter street. Sell for not that far off at this price. It's a bit of a slow price range lately here. A lot of things are sitting around. December, January is their possession date, and I think it's got a nice curb appeal. Trudeau is going to continue south of Louis St. Laurent. It's going to be kind of a major north-south artery, and so Britannia is 550, and even Trudeau's going to extend further north. It's going to probably connect up with James Snow, or it'll be connected to that new subdivision on the Patterson farm. This one here on Britannia, regardless of how I feel about the house, it's a 150 by 150 foot piece of property, and Britannia is going to be a 6-lane road one day. So if you really want to be in front of a massive traffic, if you want to be like Bugs Bunny where they built the highway right beside his hole, then go for it. It certainly wouldn't be something I'd recommend. Carburten or Carburten, however you say it, sounds like a cheese to me. 598.9, model's 2,436 square feet. I think a nicer version of this home just was sold conditional. They were at 519, so good luck with the 598. I don't think it'll happen. You have to put some fencing in. Looks like they put the central air, but 2,436 square feet. They say approximately 2,500. Depends how approximate you want to get. This is a wood lily corner. It's 2661 square feet. Really nice floor plan. And if you're at home playing the drinking game, they do have the spoons on the wall, so you can go ahead and take a little shot. And it's a nice floor plan. It's basically like you've got kitchen, family room in the back, and then you've got living, dining in as you pass through. So it's a staggered garage. It's one of the ones that have the one garage ahead of the other. And what that allows for is more space on your main floor. And that's the turret on the front there. You can kind of see it from the side angle. But I really think that they should have done more of a front shot so you could at least see the garage there. Yeah, and that fence, I'm not sure on Savaline if that indicates that it's maybe on a busier street. I'm not sure on what part of Savaline it is. But anyways, I would say to get up around 600, same thing, a very basic version of this home it just got an offer at $529. So you're really justifying how are you $90,000 better than that one? And believe me, the other one wasn't anything special, but I mean, you gotta talk about real facts and real upgrades to justify a price like this. It's a little bit high to me. So Holmes is a lovely home. You've got a interlock driveway, about a 28 something square foot home. The finishes in here I think are some of the best that I've seen ever, really. I mean, it looks beautiful inside. It looks like a waffled ceiling here, wainscoting, great looking hardwood floors, and an office with built-ins. When your laundry room looks like that, you know the house is pimping. Like, this is, wow, very, very nice. Great furniture, pie-shaped lot, backing onto a ravine. Nice stuff. I mean, there's no holes I could punch in this home, and I think that that's a good deal for what you're getting there compared to what else is sold. Rixon Way is $839. It's about a 3,700 square foot home with a finished basement, so there's tons of living space. Rixon is quite a desirable street. It's nice and quiet. You don't get a lot of traffic there. Yeah, it's good. There's a main floor den. There's a separate living dining room plus a kitchen with the family room. Main floor laundry. And you can see a bit of the kitchen there. You can see the fireplace in the corner. No real shots of the stuff upstairs or the basement, but the virtual tour is just right here. This model, usually when we've seen them, and this was further in the past with a finished basement that's sold, typically they have a ravine behind, or they've got a pool, or they have something that pushes them into the eights. But I think that because those were so far or so long ago, we might have seen enough appreciation that maybe you don't need all that lot stuff, and a good looking home might suffice. So we'll see what happens. It's really about how that one shows in person. And we've got this one on Canyon Road at 1.169. And so you can see the full lot there. The horse industry the horse racing is really apparently has changed a lot. There's been a lot of things that have happened that have maybe sort of made that industry plummet a little bit. So we might see more and more properties dedicated to horses that maybe just aren't going to survive the same way. And so the house looks okay. Looks like there's nice big principal rooms. And when you look at the cash flow on something like this, okay, so standard bred operation, NOI stands for net operating income of $60,000 on a $1.1 million house. That's actually better than a lot of investment properties. Now, that's historical. Is that going to be the case moving ahead in the future? It'd be something, if you're in the horse racing industry, that might be something that you look at. Is it possible to get $60,000 from this one? 5 years from now is really what it comes down to. So that's the list for today. If you have any questions at all, reach out to us, let us know, give us an email or a call, and we'd love to help you get from where you are now to where you want to be. Have a great day.